Now hopefully everybody, it's up, and so I'm in the middle still of setting everything up. So, but I thought rather than being late, I would soldier on. That was the logic behind it. Anyway, right. How big's that one? Let's just try open that one. And we wait for everyone to join in. I'm now going to get the chat up on the screen so everyone can say hello. Let's go over to my streaming stuff. I am streaming, am I? Hopefully. Yep. Excellent condition, good. That's connection, so that's working. So let's just go get the chat popping out. There's that chat, need to make it a different size so everyone can see it. We'll make it that big to start with. Right, if you chat in the chat, I will get it up literally as soon as I possibly can do. Is that the one? Nope, that's not it. I thought rather than sort of delay it any longer, I thought I'd get it going quick. So yeah. But if you get the stuff going, I will answer your questions. I've got some different things to discuss this week, which is frustrating, but then also because you're members only, you kind of get access to stuff which no one else will do, so I don't mind saying in front of everybody, because it's only members. Say only members, it's members only. Right. Let's have a little look. No, it's not that one. Chrome tab, is it that one there? Bear with. YouTube Studio, that's the one. There we go. Oh, that didn't work. What is that? Oh, dearie me. Don't you just like it when things don't quite work as you'd like them? I've got too many things going on, that's the thing. That one there? I'll be able to flick over into this box anyway to find chat. Based Harun. Now you can't see this on the chat. I'm getting it working, so bear with me. New subscriber here, absolutely loving your content. As a mid-handicapper, I find myself drawn to the 225s versus new 245s. That will be a fun video. Do you think there is a massive benefit, and can I get a good deal on 225s? There you go. In transit, so only listening for starters. So Niels is in the house. Oh, hang on a minute. I have done this to public, and so I need to change it for everyone. So Based Harun, I will answer your question because I need to change the settings. I've accidentally gone on public rather than members only. So I will answer your question, but normally this is a members only every week, and I do a open all access every first Monday of the month. So Based Harun, I will answer your question very, very quickly before I do all the chat side of things. So Chips and Peas Harsh was enjoying listening for free. Yeah, I understand, thanks. Well done. No, so anyone who's members and like the lowest tier of the memberships gets access to all the live streams and all the stuff that I do kind of like behind the scenes and stuff like that. So if anyone wants to be involved in that, by all means pop on to my homepage, or I think you can go on any of my videos. Underneath where it's normally saying subscribe, there's a button saying join, and you can have a look if you want to then. Yeah, so Based Harun, I will let you know. So from what I understand, there might be some interesting differences between the 245 and the 225. Some exciting differences Mizuno are saying about the difference between them, so, and that will be good. Martin saying late, hadn't come up on notifications even though, no, sorry, that's probably me, as in I tried to get everything on in time. I've been busy making all the Wilson videos, so I've actually physically got the Wilson stuff here. So I've been busy doing that today. But so yeah, the 225s has, I think, something like 28.5 grams of tungsten in the head, and the new one is seemingly having around 47, so nearly 50 grams of tungsten, and lower as well. So that will be advantageous off of low strikes, and that will also be advantageous through launch. A bit more stability in the head, and it potentially has. I don't think it's going to be massively longer, because again, we're still running similar technology. What we're more focused now on is launch conditions and forgiveness more than anything else. So right, chips and peas also, I will knock the, I don't know if I can edit it, I might be able to edit it anyway and pop it in, and so in the next sort of few minutes I will stick it to members only rather than public, which I accidentally did. So anyway, let's go get the chat going, because at the moment I have not got the chat box working, and I need to do that. Which one is that? That's the chat overlay, chat in the box. What's that one? Oh, see, it's all good fun, isn't it? This is the problem. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. I've got so much stuff in here, it's hilarious. I need to do a complete refresh of my OBS. So let's just do a new one. Display capture, no, that'll do. I need a, what's it called, capture. So whilst you've got the chance, stick it in the comments quickly. So until I actually changed it, you'll be fine. And if you can get that, because I'll get the chat through here, you see, so everything will be fine. There we go. I'll just call it window 4 for the moment. Yeah, right, there we go. I can move that now in front of there, and then get this a bit bigger. Everyone's winning now. Everyone's winning now. And I just want to get rid of that browser source, because I've just added a browser source somehow. There we go. Right, so let's just transition that across. There we go. So, evening all, evening Alistair, how are you? So Joshua Hunter, how would you rate forgiveness of stealth irons versus the new P790s? Very, very close actually, considering the stealth wasn't that forgiving off of certain place on the toe, and I don't know if it's because of that carbon badge at the back, obviously taking weight away and stuff, but do you know what, out of the two, on balance, I'd say P790. I really would. Right, Josh, just so you know, I've answered your question, and thank you very much for saying love your reviews. I appreciate that. I've accidentally set this off as public rather than members only. Generally speaking, every single week I do a members only live stream where all the members, we can all chat about all the things that have been going on this week, all the new stuff that I've got to test, all news that's happening within the golf world, and also some sneaky peek stuff. Obviously, being public, I will now possibly change over, well, I will do, I'll change over to members only, so all the members. Hopefully it will literally just, no problem, Josh, that's fine. Anyone who is in grey that you can see there, if you do want to get involved in the weekly live streams, I have a tiered membership scheme as such that you can find on my channel, or under every single video that I have. When you're watching it, there's a normally subscribe button, there's a join button, and it's the entry level tier for you to have a look at if you want. Go, may as leave it, mate. Oh, as in, do people mind having everybody on? But again, this is members only. Bearing in mind, there's certain things that I may have said today which I will not say, obviously, if it's going to be a public stream. Bearing in mind, cola, apparently I'm allowed to say it because it's a generic term, like YouTube drink. Right. Okay, for some reason my chat feed is not working at all. Brilliant. Thanks for that, stream bots. Doesn't matter. Right. Get your questions in quickly then, because I do want to have a little chat with everybody about certain things. There's certain things I will now obviously say, certain things I won't. Any questions before I start talking about the topics of this week? Or what I might do then, if you guys don't mind, yeah, I'm okay if you let non-members in. Yeah, I think you would, that's fine. I'm talking about the members that are watching. If it's all right for them, it's not necessarily down to me. Members pay, I don't mind the ones in here already. Yeah, unfortunately I can't do a, giving it the love, I can't do, it's just a blanket. If I turn it off, I turn it off, and it's just us if I do. So IT, switch it off and back on again. That, generally speaking, that works, Perry, like that one. Not in this system, not in OBS though. I need to clear up my OBS really, because the problem is obviously doing live streams is because I'm not live streaming all the time. I obviously live stream every week, but primarily I'm using my PC for editing and stuff for the normal reviews that I do. And so getting back onto OBS, having to clear out all the stuff that I did from last week and then put all the new stuff on and all that lot. So I was a bit late today anyway, because I've been reviewing the, well, been filming as such, the Wilson stuff. So, okay, mine's leave it open to all. Alistair, Perry, Niels, what do you think? Okay, Niels, you can't really say anything because obviously you're in transit, so you're listening. If you can, obviously, put your point across. Everyone else, if you want to put your point across to give, I don't feel in any way that if you say chuck them out, it's in any way bad. It's not that. It's just a case of, like, we've got to be fair to the paying members. So let's go get the golf clubs that I've been testing today. Or no, what we will do actually, and I don't know if this is going to work, because, oh no, it won't work if I do have that. So hang on, bear with, because I want to, if I copy that and paste that in, paste as a reference. Yes, okay, that's worked. So I will do a transition. Now this, I hope this works. Okay, back now. So you're saying the sound is bad when I go over to this one. That's an interesting one. I'll turn the background music down a little bit. And then if I go over to the GH5, there's a sneak peek. I'll turn that one up a touch. I don't want to turn it up too much. Oh, okay, everyone's right. Should we do this again? Because this is the first time that, I mean, it's mental that I've got web cameras going, 2 web cameras going. I've got the YouTube Winnie Pops. I've got the my previous main camera and my new main camera, my GH5, on there as a test. How is it working now? So it's not, is it not working then? Okay, so it's not working. When I go on my other camera, it's not working. I'm assuming then. Okay. We can hear you, but the sound quality is very bad. Okay. Because I suppose my microphone as such, my wireless microphone is connected into that camera, which then obviously goes into the PC. Now that video source is just a source. It shouldn't have, I'm not using the thing from it. So we'll have a look at that one, and I'll fix it for next week. But then I've literally only just sort of plugged it in. It could even be the HDMI cable that I'm using, so you never know. I'll do a test and find out what the problem is and do that. Cool. We don't have to run that one. It's just as a test more than anything else. But right, let's talk about what everyone was of all the comments, which isn't about my rubbish microphone. So doesn't matter to me either. Leave it open, don't mind at all. Sound is down, that's where it sounds. Sound is bad, very low, hardly any sound. No, we can't hear you. Mic's not working, sound is fine here. Turn your mic on. Why not working now? Here's the mic. It's like the mic source switches with cam. Yes, Nils, you are right. Very, very, very right. And so now, really, the video capture device, is it a case of, rather than taking, because before I've done it with webcams, not 2 DSLRs. So I'll have a look at that one. So we won't look at the other camera, unfortunately. We can do it a different way. It just means that foregoing the chat. But so if I did this, now, is my mic working or is my mic not working? You'll have to let me know. Can you hear me? And then I'll have a little look. This is all a test, you see. Everything's always a test. It's all good fun. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's just the sound. So, okay, fair enough. So we can get you on the screens and stuff, but for some reason, when I use my GH5, it craps out the audio. Okay, so I'll sort that one out. Yeah, it's fine on split screen, working all good. Yay, yes, sort his mic out. Yeah, sort my mic out. It's just something easy to be sorted out. I've got something from Grunt21. How important is it to have the same approach gap wedge as your iron set? Not really. Not really, just as you can see, reading it up on here. I mean, I've got a set over here, which, can you see? Yeah, down here. I've got a set here of old 921s, JPX 921s, and they go from 5 in the Hot Metal Pro all the way down to a gap wedge in the Tour. That was that aggressive blend set that I did. But yeah, you can have either a custom one. So I've got, there you go. So even so, as you say, they are very similar. You've got a gap wedge there and a 50, that's exactly the 50, and obviously same with the loft wedge. Do they offer anything different between them? Yes, I suppose you could say. When it comes to a gap wedge within a set, you've got one opportunity at whatever bounce you have got, and that is it, and whatever grind you've got. When you go to like a custom wedge, and depending on what loft we're talking about especially, yes, but you do sometimes get options when it comes to bounce. And grinds. Now, not so much in the gap wedges, more so in the sand wedges and definitely in the lobbies. But yeah, that's main difference on there. But is there advantage? Not really. If you like your pitching wedge, then why not? I will go grab these and I'll pop it over here. And I'll go back so everyone can see me. That one there, press the fade button because I don't want to transition very, very quickly. Yeah, there we go. So, right, there we go. You're sounding like a man in a box ventriloquist act. Same before, yeah. Okay, so at least my mic works when I use the old webcam side of things. When I go to one of my other DSLR, for some reason, I'm assuming what it's doing, it's grabbing the audio actually from the microphone from the actual camera rather than picking this up, but it's fine. we'll work it out. Right. Slytown, have you tested the JPX Tour versus JPX Forged in the rough for forgiveness? No, because that's so difficult. Anyone who says they can do that consistently and give a scientific answer, good luck on that. Considering 4 and 5 iron in the Forged, yeah, so difficult. I mean, I can do a certain amount of one of the stuff that I do, because of the stuff that I do it in a scientific way, because I can control things. I am the only question mark in the actual test. When you're doing it on course, this is why I don't do on course stuff as a general rule. Now, I have thought about messing around a little bit going forward, changing the content up a little. The problem is when I change the content, I would like to change the content, but the problem is if I do that, I do it in a way that, because my videos are already long enough, I then question, what do I drop? Because I can't do the same stuff that I do in here on the course. It's kind of very, yeah. And then obviously, logistically, it's a lot easier for me to do everything here. My stuff takes long enough for me to edit and stuff anyway. If I then go to a golf course and do the filming there, that takes time. And then you've got traveling times and stuff like that. And it's, yeah. But I mean, it's something that I will need to look at in the end. But yeah. But in the rough, yeah. As a general rule, you could say that depending on how you attack it, if you're very much so on the way down, the larger sole may help. But again, yeah, it's a difficult one. Axel says, how do you go about gapping? I've been playing 58, 54, 50, same as me, and so on for 3 or 4 years now, but I've been thinking if my gaps are correct for my speed, etc. So basically gappings, loft gappings are done on one premise: speed and dynamic loft delivery. So if you swing quick and you deliver the right amount of loft as such for your speed, as in a case of you're de-lofting by a certain amount and you can swing 100 miles an hour with 7 iron, but if you deliver more loft than you should, then obviously your gappings will be shorter because obviously you're producing so much loft. If you then start de-lofting a normal amount, then you get bigger gaps. So as deflection gets less and less and less. So if I know your speed, I could possibly give you an understanding of what kind of loft gaps that you need to be. This is on the assumption that you're delivering the right amount of loft. Grunt24 would love to see you play on course. I've done one course vlog in the whole time I've been doing YouTube. I've done one course vlog. That was in 2018. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine to do. The problem is with course vlogs is, one, not everyone is very comfortable from being in front of camera, especially when you make an idiot of yourself, and you can do. So, but yeah, I could probably do on my own as such, as in the case of I would just sort of say, here's how I play golf kind of thing. I don't know, Mark does a lot of his stuff on course, and he doesn't do all the stuff he does on course nowadays, more so, is much so done on his own rather than, and again, if people like that, then possibly, it's just that I can come to work, I can film, I can get all what I want done, and edit it in the same place and stuff like that. If I've got to do for golf course and drive out there, then pick up whatever content that I want to do, make whatever content I want to do, then come back, and it just, yeah, it disconnects it a little bit, and it's not as efficient for my time. And my stuff that I do, because of the stuff and the way that I do it, already takes long enough. But yeah, I'm not saying no by no stretch. Ben says, evening Ben. Mizuno223, is there a bigger than normal drop-off in 8 iron with no extra help like there in 4 to 7? And no, there isn't. And the reason why is because there is a reason why there's a graduated change in technology. Because of loft, deflection, you don't get the same help. So from, say, metallurgy, and then also any kind of technology within the head like microslot or anything else like that, you don't get that kind of help as soon as deflection gets to a point and it normally, the transitions, depending on obviously what loft we're talking about, because obviously traditionally loft, modern lofted, strong lofted and all that lot, but from normal it kind of happens around about the 8 iron anyway, where the deflection is so much, loft is so much that actually the face doesn't spring like in the way it kind of, yeah, I won't bore you, but that's the reason why. So even in 7 iron, that help that the 7 iron is being given by the technology in the head, or the metallurgy in the head, is already starting to tail off. As soon as you start taking loft off and you start getting more of a bludgeoned hit, that's when you really start to see the difference in technology. But yeah. So, Alistair says, is bounce and grind the same as bump and grind? Not quite. I'm not, no. Yeah, it's a different kind of show, I think. What we got? We got Abstract EVs in the house. Hello, hope you're well. I've been doing some testing. Oh, God, now you've got my ears pricked up myself, and would like. And would you say length of club plays a bigger part in total distance than loft? Well, okay, right. So if you're going to do a juniors set. Where have I got a juniors club that I give my little one and stuff? I got, well, 1 or 2 over there, and they're tiny. But if you look at the loft on there, you think, well, I hit my 8 iron, whether it be that far, and you can't even get anything anywhere close. So length of shaft does make a big difference. Centrifugally, it makes a big difference in speed. That's why they always run a standard 37 inches. We'll call it for a 7 iron. Could be 37 1/4. Could be 37 1/2. Again, different manufacturers. Idea of standard is somewhat different. But loft, if you're going to go masses, if you're going to go 8 inches in shaft length, then yes, shaft length will make a big difference. Especially if you're just talking about, I'm just changing 4 degrees. Go for a 6 iron and a 7 iron, but I'm taking 8 inches off the shaft, then yes, it will make more of a difference in length than it will do loft. Oh, do you know what you got? You got me going. Hi everyone, the forthcoming Mizuno Pro 924s. I'm thinking for a second there, we've skipped a generation or 2. Have got a lot more tungsten. Yes, they have. How do you think that will affect performance? Are they more of a player's club than the JPX Forged? That will be an interesting one. 2 completely different technologies now, where we got microslot and now hollow body tungsten. So I'll be interested to see what the differences are between them, if any. At Bear, joined a few minutes late. Did you answer based Harun's question? First answer in the chat about the Mizuno 225. I have the same question about. Yes, I did. So if you want to re-watch the chat, bearing in mind it was me turning around and saying this. This tonight was supposed to be members only, as every Monday night is a members only live chat where we talk about what I've been up to during the week, what videos I'm doing, any new stuff that I've got to test, any news, any sneak peeks at certain things. But like an idiot, because I was rushing around because I've been doing all the Wilson stuff today, I didn't have time, well, as much time as I would like. So I was still getting the live feed stream working as I was actually going on live. So I realised after the fact that not only blue and green people were, but there were some grey people as well. And the names with grey means non-members, and of course then I realised I'd set it to public rather than members. Rather than members only live stream as a title. Dull. But from what I understand, and I've had no one say no yet, I was instantly going to basically turn all the public people off and say thanks very much for joining me in. It was a bit of a mistake. If you do want to go in, obviously on the live streams, go on the channel, click join on the first tier, it's the cheapest one, if that's what you wanted to do. You don't have to, obviously. It'd be nice to have you along. And then of course I was just going to have members, but there was quite a few members turned up and said no, keep everyone in. So we'll run with it. Right, what we got? Neil said, Axel, if you use Arcos, you will know from the course. Otherwise, I find a way to get. To a GC quad or Trackman to get the set pitching wedge in the mix for me. I got my 50 degree bent to 48 and then fits. Yeah, so I've always done gap tests via quad. closed condition stuff. Just no external forces at play, no atmospherics or anything else like that. The beauty of that is the fact that you can keep every known, or at least the environment, sterile. So there is no question marks over anything. It's just a case of you hitting a golf ball, your golf ball, not whatever the guy has got in his. So bring your bag, obviously your clubs that you will do anyway for a gap test, but bring a ball for you to hit as well, because that is your ball, that's the ball that you normally use. And so you want to get your gapping done based on the ball you use. I've always done it with quad. I have done it other ways, and I've done it with radar a few times, and I've found it problematic from an honesty and there's been a lot of shots when it comes to radar-based testing of, say, gap testing for one, that I've had to remove because of variations in atmospherics, which then blur the information, and then as soon as you start having to manipulate the data, it starts becoming a little bit, Nick says, will you test the new T150 irons? I will, as soon as Titleist gets back to me. I've put my feelers out to, so I've done it to most of the brands now. I'm still waiting back on Callaway, because I want to get hold of the Apex, and I will get hold of the Apex irons anyway, but obviously being late to the party's not much fun, especially for the growth of the channel. But then it will be interesting to see, because I do things the way that I do things, and the old T-series of irons were really very, very good, and so sometimes manufacturers aren't overly happy or potentially want to send stuff to me because of the fact of how I do things, because I do things more scientifically and just use head measuring technology, quad, and to see if there's a physical difference between the old and the new. The new one's getting a lot of really good reviews, but so far that's based on subjectivity rather than objectivity. Now, I'm not saying it's bad at all. I mean, from what I can see and everything else, I mean, I love the look of the Titleist irons. They're so clean, they're so the same within reason. Everything blends beautifully between everything. But I want to be honest and unbiased, and I would like to do it. Now, not every manufacturer is happy with that. What are we going? Yes, at Bear, you can always scroll back. So, Abstract AV saying, Wilson, ooh, I had the D9 Forge and loved them. Only got rid of them because I was being a stupid golf snob. Does that mean you'll be testing D9 Forged versus CBs? Now, okay. Wilson has sent through some bits and pieces. However, so before, I want to manage people's expectations of this, because it's only right. So, they sent me 3 irons, one being the Blade, one being the CB, and one being the Dynapower. They did not send me D9. Why, I don't know. Actually, I'll be honest, and again, if Wilson are listening, the 2 contacts that I have had at least, well, one of them I've had at least 1 email from, the other one multiple, and the other one's much more, well, I've had a direct conversation with him, so yeah, I know what kind of guy he is. He's a helpful guy, but he's busy. I would have liked to have D9. And obviously, when it comes to the set, being able to actually do a full range of, I mean, yeah, people, there you go, want to see D9. But because of budgetary constraints, etc., Wilson could only justify sending those 3 out to me. I have got the drivers. And what I mean by the drivers, I've got the standard and the carbon. However, again, I'll be honest, because I always am, both of the drivers are used previously, which is not an issue. I don't mind getting used stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the whole idea of a YouTube channel is not to basically just grab hold of as much stuff as you possibly can do and hoard it. No, the whole idea is you're testing it. So I don't care if all the manufacturers sent me used stuff. The only thing it doesn't look very good, obviously, when you're doing a 360-degree view, when you're obviously showing it on the channel, and someone's watching it and going like that, and you see scratches all on it and stuff like that, it looks terrible. I mean, I can remember certain things that even like when Rick has done stuff, and that's going out to hundreds of thousands of people, if not sometimes a million or so, and they haven't cleaned the club, or you could see they've used it beforehand, there's scratches all over it, and of course it doesn't look brilliant. It's just aesthetics, of course it is. But the drivers, now the standard driver is a 10.5, which is okay because I can set it down 1 degree because that's the lowest it will go on the loft sleeve, to 9.5. That will work. However, the carbon, which is, being honest, I think everyone will be honest on this one, that's the real reason they want to be tested on. The carbon has got some very, very good reviews. They sent me a 12-degree head. Not entirely certain what I'm going to be doing with that 12-degree head, but there you go. 12-degree head. So I'm not going to be doing the carbon. It is absolutely pointless me doing the carbon, because every single thing that I hit is going to go up my left nostril. It's going to go to the moon. And all I'm going to be doing for the whole video is saying, right, this is an example of the importance of making sure you get custom fit for loft. But there you go. Yeah, so I won't be doing the carbon, not unless Wilson can send me a driver that I can physically use. And the other one has got a dent in it, but I'm trying to do it in a way, being honest, in front of camera, don't care, that when you see it on the review, I'll try and do it in a way where you don't see the dent. Or if you do see a dent, for the people that are watching, when it comes out, just stick in the comments the location. It's going to look weird, random people just saying random comments of a location point on a golf club, but yeah, a bit of an internal joke more than anything else. Right, so Golf Addict says, I'm in the house finally, let's get the party started, woohoo, lol. And he's happy about it because he's in capitals as always. Abstract AV, I like my gapping to overlap. Oh wait, I don't have a choice with my inconsistent strike. I like that. That's very, very funny. Martin's Reef saying, surely mat v grass will have a difference in gapping? No, depends. I'd say no. Okay, it does. Yes and no. So depends on the quality of the mat, and it also depends on the quality of the golfer. So to the moon, yeah, it will be to the moon. It'll be up my left nostril through the clouds and come down with snow on it, 50 yards ahead of me. And so I've tested it and I haven't seen any statistical difference personally. TXG, or whatever they're called nowadays, what are they called, Club Champion or something like that, doesn't matter. They have done the test. Matt hit off mats and grass and got basically no difference whatsoever. I can tell you where the difference is if you wish, which I'm quite happy to. Neil says you could test the 12 degree with 70 mile an hour swing speed and 4 degrees down. Yeah. This is a review of how inefficient you can actually hit a 12 degree lofted driver. Nick, that's why I always appreciate watching your reviews. Well, thank you. They are honest, as always, regardless of, I never found that. I had a notification on my phone a few nights ago now, as me waking up at random times, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then there was a review saying it was a review. It was a comment on the review that I did between the Pro 225 and I think the P790. And I thought I was very open and saying just how well the P790 did, and in some aspects how not poorly the 225 did, but it was just different. It launched lower and stuff like that. It was just a difference. So I'm not saying that a golf club needs to launch as high as possible to win. I mean, that's preference. If someone hits it really high and they want to lower their flight, well, a 225 will hit a slightly lower launch than a P790. So, but anyway, my personal favourite was the 225 for looks because it was the shiniest, and everyone who knows me, or not knows me, but you know, knows me, knows I like chrome because I'm a blade player. I like shiny. Yeah, that's my idea. I like, oh, where is it? Here it is. I like shiny, shiny. I mean, that's so shiny, that's, yeah. But that's what I like, that's the Wilson Staff one. That's just, apart from that little bar there that's not obviously chrome, it's just lovely, it really, really is. But yeah, but the 225 looks the shiniest of the two. And of course you have copper underlay on 225, so it will sound duller as well for your strike. And again, being blade player, I like something feels very, very quiet, very dull. I've just done the review of the sub 70 TA, the TA3s, TA111, whatever you want to call them. Amazing golf clubs, as in those things, if they were chrome, I would be so tempted to play them because they just feel lovely, like really lovely, ridiculously nice. And it's down to that DT4 steel, which, who was it? Was it, I can't remember now, who said to me yesterday, day before, whenever it was, it came out and said, Jay, I did tell you that in the last Monday's live stream, what that DT4 steel was. And yes, I know, unfortunately, filming doesn't always coincide timeline wise. So sometimes me, here you go. And I don't always film all in one go because I've got so much to do, as in like the hitting that I do. I don't honestly think people appreciate sometimes how much hitting I do to create the data that I need to be able to say one golf club is better at a certain place than others. I do not like, personally myself, just creating rubbish. I could, without very little data whatsoever, just turn around and say, oh yeah, P790 wins. Better off the toe, better off the heel, better off low, just better. Prove it. That's why I do what I do. And I don't just do one, I do multiples of the same thing to make sure that it's not a sporadic thing. I need to hit multiple ones out the bottom, multiple ones out the toe, multiple ones out the heel, at similar strike points, with similar loft, with similar face dynamics, to be able to get the same result. And as long as I'm getting the same result, that is provable. So one shot out of somewhere is effectively, could be a fluke. We don't know. Let's say there's a, in the cast golf clubs especially, but cast golf clubs sometimes have pockets of air inside them, and they can either create a dead or a springy part of the face. And so I need to be hitting multiple shots from the same location to be able to truly say if a golf club works better than the other one from that spot. But it takes a long time. So a lot of the time there are multiple data sets from multiple days that go in it, and so sometimes not everything goes, yeah. That's an understanding of what goes on in my world anyway. Niels is asking you to hit a squeezing cut. I know, that's right, Avery. Yeah, I couldn't do that. There's something wrong about hitting a driver 4 down. Wow. Alice has said, where do I get my fake grass from? As in, where do I get my grass from? Copied from Chinese site. Have we got... No, I know, Martins, don't worry. Wasn't slagging you, just reminding you, understand that. In no point was I saying or thought in any way that you were. Don't worry, I don't get offended about anything that people say. And I, as a point in life, I've always, especially in my more mature years, I've always worked on the basis that unless I can talk to the individual and get an understanding of their body language and the intonation of what they're saying and how they're saying it, I always go from the basis when I'm reading something, if there is in the slightest any ambiguity whatsoever, I will always err on the positive side. Because it's a bad old life if you, especially doing what I do, and the amount of comments that you do get from time to time that are a little bit, you could take that both ways. I always take it on a positive. Always the best way to manage your own mental health. So, Alice said, it's a kind of high quality steel with iron content above 99.5. It's a low carbon, low sulfur and low phosphorus iron, yes. Copied from the Chinese site. Cool, that makes more sense now. I've read the one above. Yes, so it is very malleable and it is extremely soft. Durability is going to be an interesting one. I honestly don't know how durable it will be, and if it will be very durable or it won't be. Not quite sure. We talked about D4 last week, soft and 110/20. Yes, I know. Unfortunately, when I'd done the filming of what you saw, that was previous to the last live stream that we had, so I knew that. So I would have had to have scrapped all the content that I'd done and redone the content to be able to redo it. I know. Yes, your practice grass, Alistair says. So mine is a... Alistair, go on Google and Rider Pro. Is it Rider Pro? I think it's Rider Pro. If you just go on Google, just put Rider Pro, there's a couple of websites that do it. And I think on the top of my head, it's about £24.99, £24.99, so £25 per square metre. And the good thing of it, I have it everywhere, apart from obviously the fringe grass around the outside, the rough grass that you see, just adds a little bit of aesthetic, no real other reason. And it enables me to, because through cut-offs, etc., I've got loads and loads of spare bits. So when as you can see, my mat is already starting to wear a little bit, can then, that's my divot mat, I can then take off that top cover and then relay another one. Everyone's a winner. So you just got constant levels of new grass. Wow, just seen the TA3s, gorgeous. Do they have any bounce at all? They do. They do have some bounce. They have a little bit. You don't need bounce. Bounce is overrated. I'm worried about chipping and groove wear with DT4. Evening, guys. Adrian. Hello, Adrian. Hope you're well. I would possibly be too. It all depends. I think I'd be more bothered in the worlds of the lofted irons. If you had the pitch and wedge 9 irons, 8 possibly, but all the rest of it, I wouldn't worry about it. They'll be absolutely fine. Same with the wedges and stuff like that. If you look at your wedges, your 50, 54 and 58, your 50, 55, 60, your 52, 58, whatever your composition of wedges are. If you look at your pitch and wedge 52, that kind of idea, look at all your wear on it. And obviously, generally speaking, the one with the most loft always gets the most wear. Okay, that is on the basis that you use them somewhat similar amounts. Some people hardly ever use their 60 and always use their 55 or whatever it would be, or, yeah, 58, 54, whatever. I like digging. Not with one of them, you won't. But they are really good. They are really good. I'll go get it. They are really good, these are. Like, properly nice. I'm really surprised just how nice these are. Again, if these were chrome, I mean, they are busy here. I mean, this is really thin. The top part of this is like so ridiculously thin. I can't quite get it, but that bit top there's, yeah. All the meat is behind it. But they're, for a blade, they are really very good. Very forgiving for a blade. And so, but I will say this, actually, that on balance, the CB, that for me is winning so far. Now, the Dynapower, it does everything that it says on its tin. It wants to go a long way. It's a 27 degree lofted 7 iron. So, excuse me. Yeah, it's a rocket ship. It really is, and it does okay in the forgiveness charts. It does okay. But what does really well is this thing, CB. Works really well, and it's because it's got tungsten in it. It's a lovely little squat head design. It's very similar size to the blade. Blade has got thinner everything, but it just looks really nice. Martin said, just ordered a set of wedges from Sub 70 DT4. There you go. Was that from, I'm assuming that's from the English site. Did you get through? Did you speak to anyone there? Was it Nick or Richard? Doesn't matter, I suppose, because you can ring them up and ask about lies and shafts and etc. etc. Neil said at Martin's Reef, cool. Will be nice to see how they are. Just hope the durability is okay, being soft on wedges. They'll cut up. They will do. They'll be honest. I mean, they will. That's why Mizuno went boron in their T series and their series. That's why they've moved over, because of the fact that they're just getting absolutely pummeled. When you go 1025E, even that's going to get pummeled. And then when you start going DT4, I mean, they'll feel like, oh, but still. Perry says, daughter home from Taekwondo. Time for me to go and get Yep. What did you learn today, love? Well, Dad, stand here and I'll do it. Do this. Attack me, Dad. Oh, do I have to? Not again. I've only just sort of got over the last time I got broken this and broken that. Yeah. Why not? Golf Hat said, just looking for a softer feeling iron. Definitely will do that one. Then currently using the self irons. That is a big difference. 7 handicap, want a buttery smooth forgiving distance iron. Is there such an iron? If so, what do you recommend? Well, I am waiting still patiently, kind of patiently. I do email him quite a bit. From Tacoma Golf, got the 101Ts coming at one point. Cali Golf, right? Here's one for you. Again, I don't mind saying this because I would really like to test Cali Golf. To be fair to Cali, and because obviously doing sub 70, 11, Tacoma, I'm trying to give all the DTCs a fair crack at the whip. And they're just being really, really, well, they answer sometimes and don't answer sometimes. When they do answer, they're like, really, yeah, we'll definitely do it. We'll really want to get this done. It's really, really good, blah, blah, blah. And then they just don't answer you back. You think, well, do you want to do it or not? I don't mind, I'm busy, I've got plenty of stuff to do. I'm just trying to give everyone a fair crack at the whip to try and to get the review out of their product. But I mean, that's up to them. I would like to do it. Cali Golf, if you are listening, I would like to do it. I understand from your own representative, you've had inventory issues because it's been so successful, which is brilliant. But if you want them reviewed, I am more than happy to review them. If you don't, then just say. Martin said, no, didn't speak to anyone. Okay, Neil's actual will do, yeah. That's fine. I mean, they're very good over there. So again, I suppose I've had this a few times when it comes to DTC, people saying about DTC brands and having a little bit of an off thing with DTC brands. And this is sort of more premium manufacturers, because they see the fact that DTC brands come in and undercut everyone and stuff like this. And let's face it, you're going to get it on the odd occasion. On the odd occasion where someone is looking at buying a brand new set of tailor-made this or ping that or whatever it will be, you get someone coming in and said, oh, are these that good? Are they? Well, in that case, I'll save myself 400 quid and I'll buy this set. And set. It does happen. Yes, it does happen, but it's very, very rare. The biggest thing what happens with DTC brands, they take over the guys that were wanting to spend a decent amount of money but couldn't justify spending 1,200 quid going to a premium manufacturer for something, and they want to spend £800 on something and get the exact similar thing. Exact similar doesn't quite work, but getting a similar product at a similar price that they wanted to spend for a second-hand set, but they're getting brand new, and in certain times custom fit for them as well. But they were never going to dump up the £400, £500 more to go get a set of premium. And now, I'm not saying that people should buy DTCs. I'm not saying that people should buy premium. I'm saying that people should go for whatever that they feel they are comfortable with going, and you will automatically always get positive sides on one side and then negative sides on the other. It's up for people to make their own kind of decisions, yeah. Martin Zarif at Golf Addict, what about the P790s? Jay's review looks good. Yeah, Jay's review does look good. P79s are brilliant, really good. A huge change to 2021. Didn't like 2021, I'll be honest. Well, I didn't like them, I just didn't go on with them. And I don't know why. I tested the 2021 and the 2023 P790 with the same shaft. No difference at all, just the head, that was it. Same everything, just the head. There you go. P790 versus Cobra Forge Tech or Tacoma 100s or Mizuno 223, JPX 923, Titleist T200. T200, that's the hollow bodied version though, isn't it? So 923, but 223 is going to be a bit, yeah, that's going to be the loser if we're looking at distance and stuff, because obviously of the loss, etc. on our 223 or 243, which will soon be about. Well, there we go, make sure I haven't missed anything. No, okay, so I haven't missed anything. Right. Okay. I'm going to put some bits and pieces up on the screen. You can tell me if you like it or not. You tell me if you like it or not, okay? Martin's very emphatic of it. It's hard to choose. It is on that one. Right, so I'm going to put something up on the screen. Let's get the right. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I have done it. Here we go. What do you think of this? That is the new. Obviously not. Well, it is new. Ping haven't said anything, released anything yet, but obviously that's been on tour. So of course, as soon as it's been on tour, someone gets their camera out, and of course we get some form of, we obviously know we haven't got a clue what's in it. I'm assuming there's going to be some form of tungsten in there because of the screw on the side. You can see there, just on there, you got the screw there that does that, and then stunning. Ah, we're saying stunning, are we? This is what it looks like on the sole, from a little bit more like that way. Now that is the Blueprint S, which is their forgiving blueprint. That, I believe, we're going to get I don't know, hang on, I'm just going to say this in front of people here. I'll go back. I don't know this. I am using my noggin, and I might be wrong. And you guys tell me what you think. No thanks. I think it's ugly. Oh, poor Ping. I've been working hard on that. Looks like 3 different finishes. Yes, nothing special. Hey, please, no Ping representatives be watching this thing today. But I think that i59 will be dumped, because it's not a brilliant seller anyway. It's a very, very good iron, but it doesn't sell greatly, nor does Blueprint. Blueprint's now out of stock, can't get anything from Ping anyway. It's now out of custom fit, it's discontinued. And i59, I see going a similar way. And I think it's because we've got the Blueprint S and the Blueprint T's coming. Now, you're right when it says the finishes. I'm going to show you the picture of the wedge. I definitely think there's 2 in there. We have the satin, which are, well, Ping through and through. But then we have a little bit of chromey chrome, which is, I like the chrome, because I'm a chrome kind of guy. But you're right, it is different, and yeah. Have your say on that one. Or are you more this kind of way? Now that might prick up ears. There should have been a designer between the blueprint and the finished product. GolfNut, not a fan. Do we have dates for consumers? Not exactly. We'll say, not exactly. Ping are very, very good at keeping everything behind closed doors. They will not release anything until Ping are happy. with releasing something. I actually like the look of that. We've still got the tungsten screw in there, you can see on there, we've still got weighting, so it still hopefully now should add a little bit more help than the old blueprint, because the old blueprint was blooming penal. It was a gorgeous iron, it really, I mean, I quite like the old blueprint, but it's, yeah, I mean, you can still see how small that head is relative to the hosel. Wow, I mean, it's gonna be, I reckon the ball is the same size as the scoring lines on that. So it will be great to test. They will be good to test, they really will be. I'm liking the look of those. Now, I want to do, is it this one? No, where's the one I wanted to get? I haven't put it in there yet. I'll add it in. Whilst we're doing this, I will add in the image, because I want to show you something. I'll just call it, there we go, and nice and quick, because I want to show you what it looks like, both of them together. Right. I'll click off that one, and I'll make this a bit bigger. Oh, we might have to just, there we go. I'm just doing things in the background so you then can have a seamless, there we go. Now that's the difference between the Blueprint S and the Blueprint T. No offset on the T, a little tiny amount on the S on the left hand side, but it's a small looking head on the right hand side. I would like to see that in the scoring irons. I think I'd get my bum would go a little bit 50p 5p 50p 5p if I had to put up with that one in long irons. Hit a 4 iron in that. Right. So it's better than the first design traffic accident you showed. Wow, Niels, you don't like that, do you? Martin says surely a smaller head will be easier to hit centre strikes. For me, absolutely. I've done the test with many different people as well. Throughout the whole of the handicap level, as soon as you get a smaller head, people concentrate more on strike, and their strike consistently gets better. I've done that through FSX Pro. If you go on FSX Pro, you've got the strike consistency, the spray consistency done in millimeters squared, and it is noticeable when people have a smaller head in their hands, they concentrate on strike so much more, and their strike consistency actually gets markedly better, which is obviously, yeah, counterintuitive what you would say when it comes to the game improvement irons. Abdullah says nice white bottom groove as always. Ping have got that white line at the bottom, which I think is yeah, I do like that. I've always liked that with Ping. But there you go. Right, what's the time? Just keeping an eye on things. Again, this was supposed to be private. It will be next week. Will be private. So I apologise to all the members. I know they didn't mind because I rushed it. I forgot to reset it from public to members only. So the non-members will have a bit of a freebie. But yeah, so for the guys also wanting to know, T24, they are on their way. TaylorMade have started using the white now. Yes, they have. Yes, which is a good thing in my own personal belief. Makes no difference whatsoever, and no difference to aesthetics and all that lot. It's subjective, and you're going to get an equal amount of people going, I don't like the white line. Oh, okay, it's fine. Everyone's different. That's the beauty of the human race. Actually, my PXGs have the white line too. Wonder why? Mutiny. Yeah, I know. Wonder why that is. Answer on a postcard too. He stole my idea.com. That's funny. But yeah, again, I have tried to reach out to PXG. PXG are blooming difficult to get hold of because I would like to do their irons. I've already tested one iron of theirs. They're super long one, like super ridiculously long one. And I'm hitting 200 yard carry 7 irons, which is hilarious. I mean, again, I don't mind saying this because the review's coming out hopefully tomorrow. I'm busy. I've got lots of stuff to do this week. So tomorrow's review will be the Dyna Power for all the people that are looking for forgiveness, looking for a wee bit of help when it comes to distance. 27-degree lofted 7-iron, plenty of help on distance. But yeah, that's the plan. And then, because of time constraints, etc., I'm looking to possibly go getting the CB done for Thursday. Yeah, it's a busy week for me, but it's fine. See, white line at the bottom. Have you hit the T24, Abdullah? No, I haven't. Reason being, all of the reviews, you may have noticed that Mizuno have actually released T24. You could possibly, I don't know, actually, is it released actually to stores? Let's have a little quick look. How did the Dyna Power cheap mini review compare in feel to the PXG Power Bats? PXG Power Bats feel like they feel like claymores going off, PXGs. I mean, they work. PXGs just work. They do, but they just feel like a gun's gone off. That's my chat out the window then. Jerry, hello Jerry. Bought a new golf bag today, so I'm sure my handicap will be dropping soon. Absolutely, a golf bag can help your handicap come down no end. Steve, I'm just looking at my, yeah, you're funny. And then, yes, I am, but obviously, you said you didn't get the, didn't get the notification. That's because I was late doing everything. Right. So what I want to try and do is I want to try and get the, where was it? It was on Basecamp, wasn't it? Yeah, so I'm just going to try and get the information from, direct from Mizuno as to when we're going to get everything through. So it's on the update side. This is enthralling, I know, but people ask a question and I want to try and give the answers if I can. Right, that one there. Oh, it's all fun, isn't it? So from 2 PM the embargo lifts on that. What I'm looking at more so is when the actual dates were. MGS ball test, yeah, we know that one. Right, media partners. Let's see if we can go for that one and find it. So if we can find it, there it is. Got it, guys. Right, so the T24 will be available in stores. So for the US and for EMEA, Europe and all that lot, 15th of September. 4 days, 3 days, 12 tomorrow. So yeah, 3 days to go, and it will be available. So you will be able to look at it, buy it, test it before any of the YouTubers. It's fine, one of those things, isn't it? But I mean, again, my test, I don't. The problem is with wedges, and this is the problem with wedges. If you go and do a wedge review test, are you testing the wedge, or are you just showing the skill of being able to use a wedge, which most people can't do? So different to a driver review, different to an iron review, where I'm basically swinging a golf club and hitting it from weird and wonderful spots in the second part of the video. What are you doing awake at 3 AM this morning? You mad? I know. I'm randomly, when was it? On, I can't remember now. Well, it was Thursday night Thursday night, Friday morning. Yeah, I woke up at midnight because the little Gracie girl, she woke up for some reason, don't mind. She's been, well, she goes to bed around about sort of 7-ish anyway. So she'd been asleep for 5 hours. I'd been asleep for about an hour. And then she woke up. And then, of course, got up, do a little bit, some piece on that. And then I didn't get back to sleep again. So, yeah, that was me up for quite a long time. But my brain starts going. As soon as my brain starts going, I start thinking about certain things, and I might as well get up and do something in my brains like that. So, yeah. But so when it comes to the T24s, I will be doing a review. I'll be hitting some shots in here and stuff like that. But there is literally no point in me going out. And I all it is entertainment. If you watch any wedge review, it is just pure entertainment. Just on the basis of it's the stuff that you see a short game wizard do with wedges. They don't have to have a T24. They don't have to have any. They can do it with any rubbish wedge. It doesn't matter. Their application of understand how to use a wedge, how to understand where the low point is, how to use loft, how the shallowness of their strike, how to use a bounce the golf club, depending on that is what you're watching. You cannot grasp any information from that review whatsoever, other than, well, that wedge in that person's hands, he can do that. Well, let's be honest, he could do that without that wedge. It could be another wedge or another wedge. There is no difference whatsoever. Different to a iron review or driver review, because when I hit it on different parts of the face, you guys, you know full well what it's like to miss-hit a driver off the toe or off the heel. And so you need to know how one model works relative to the next one, And if you really wanted to watch all my driver reviews, you could probably, for drivers or irons, no, absolutely, you can create a picture in your own head, especially if you know your own strike pattern, what kind of golf clubs you should be testing. Wedges, excuse me, YouTube when he pops. Wedges, that review is basically me. It's nothing to do with you grasping any information from that review at all. That's my own 2 pence worth anyway. If anyone has got some count, I mean, I'll still be doing it. And again, look at the looks of them, the feel of them, how they spin. Yes, I no doubt they're going to spin off anything. The wet, I like the whole idea of this wet performance of spin. That makes me giggle, because depending on the application of water in certain things, that can actually make the ball spin more. So I'm not, why we talk about, oh, it's got this aqua coat in here, this stock coat in there to keep the spin on the golf ball. Well, water does that anyway. Actually, I just buy stuff I like the look of now. At least then, when I duff one, I can enjoy cleaning it. Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Ted, hello. Thank you very much for joining, Ted. It was nice to have you along. Yes, that's a good point. Now in T24, I'll be honest, mine might be even later. And that will be, there's two special people in this world, me and Rick. Every single other YouTuber that's getting T24s are getting, I can't remember what it is now, 52, 58 or 50, whatever, doesn't matter. And I think they're going satin and copper denim, because they come in satin, raw and copper denim. Rick and I are the only ones that are having 3 wedges and are custom fit to us. Well, because I'm thinking at the end of the day, if I'm going to be playing them, what is the point? And I'm just looking forward from a point of, like, there's no different. I was having Callaway as my choice of manufacturer that I'd like to play. Trying to keep costs down, because stuff costs money. I said to him, "Why? Hi, Darren. Hope you're well. A non-member can. This is my fault. So non-members, anyone who's watching that is non-member, that comes up in grey, It was my fault that you're even allowed to say something, because this was going to be a members only, always members only, unless it's the first Monday of the month where it normally goes. Open all access. Well, Dippy me didn't change the privacy button, effectively went from public, it should have gone to members. So, but yeah, so Darren, by all means, ask away. Anyone who wants to ask anything, ask away. I'm quite happy to. There's not much you can do with wedges, most are the same. True. Absolutely true. The big difference for me personally is looks and feel. Spin, they all spin really, really well. You might get one that spins a fraction more on certain applications of loft, on downward strikes of this, that and everything. It might be slightly different to this one, but then the other one will outdo it on a certain other situation. But we are talking a matter of ridiculously small amount of RPM. And it's up until recently, the tide is changing for the likes of wedges, because manufacturers are understanding. Peter McCleary says, free golf nutting, don't mind if I do. Yeah, normally you get to see me just in front of the camera now, and I apologise for everybody that I can't answer your questions all the time and your comments under a video, because obviously get so many and got loads of stuff to do, but this is a perfect forum for you to have to do that. Oh, here we go. No, I don't mind. But yeah, so they've now changed the way they've thought about doing things now. They're now concentrating much more on looks and feel. Bounce, grinds, all those different things. So, 49 Aris God, what a name. You mentioned T24, thoughts on my new S23, why not use those? What are the drawbacks for you as a better player? Because I still graduate sometimes onto the heel of a wedge, and because my miss on a wedge is middle to very, very slightly heel, middle, very, very slightly heel, middle. I mean, I will on the occasion hit the odd occasional toe. It happens, it does, it happens from time to time. Can't help it, but my miss on a wedge, and it's because I've been brought up with bladed wedges which did have the effective middle, the centre of gravity, the sweet spot, slightly heel biased. Of course, grown up from using those and then continue to do that. People don't all do that, and hence why the S23 was designed for having an exact middle, geometric middle strike point, well, across the face, not vertically up the face, but yeah, across the face, vertically, no, horizontally middled centre of gravity, sweet spot. And so when you do move left and right slightly, you have the same amount of drop off. If you move on the toe and you were using a T series, which is slightly heel biased, then you have a bigger drop off. There you go. Darren says, got 223s in a 5 to wedge, yes, have them in IO6s, yeah, good shaft. Like them, just not loving them. Feel like the 5 iron is a struggle to get into the air. IOs actually are quite a high launcher in anyway, as you do, other ones are higher launching. Ever stuck a 5.5 into a 6 and 5 iron play off 2, but on the slower swing speed? Right, okay. If you're just going to go move from a 6 to a 5.5, it's so little difference. The chances are someone could nearly swap it in your 8 iron, and if you didn't know any different, you wouldn't play any different. So any difference in delivery? I mean, I'll see if I can do it. Hang on a second. I'll see what I show you what I mean by such a small difference, shall I? You can now see my things as started working, so I'll have to come away from doing that, and I can always add in a browser source. Let's just call it test. So you're an IO kind of guy, aren't you? Oh. let's just go with that one. It doesn't really matter, we can always mess around with it. I'm doing it as you speak. So you're, what did you say, you're 223, isn't you? Let's go 223 for the moment. Performance fit. And then we'll go IO. Let's get an IO on there. If we can get an IO list, I can always add it in. Right, recommendations. Let's add a recommendation. What I really need, I need to spend the time getting the IO on there. There you go, 6. Okay, so yeah. So you keep texting, you keep editing and chatting, and I will just do a little bit more of a right, there we go. Okay, so now can I just do this browser source? No, get rid of that one. Right. Now, I'm going to do this now and I'm going to disappear. Right, ready, steady, go. You can still see the chat. I can still see the chat, but you can see me as I move around, and kind of idea. Right, so can you see the difference between the green and the orange? And you'll be forgiven if you can't, because they're so close together. That's the physical bend profile difference between an IO6 and an IO 5.5. So very little, as in to a point of you would not feel, you'd possibly feel a small difference, possibly. If you knew that what you were testing had the 5.5 in it, the chances are if you hadn't really, you might just use it and not notice any difference. But there you go. That's how close they are. If you want to, I mean, you'd have to go to a bit more of an aggressive shaft on that one if you want to try and get a little bit more launch. The IO is already a fairly high launching shaft as shafts go. But yeah, I'll just come off of that one. There we go. And then go back so we can actually, yeah. Neil says wet performance on wedges can vary a bit more though. Yes, you're right, they can. That is generally speaking off of grass, where you have an interestingly similar amount of variation in dry anyway. It's more so because of the most occasions where people doing a wet test is on grass. Well, to be fair, if you do a dry test on grass, you can notice a huge spin difference. When you're talking about such a small spin, you like say 3,000-4,000 spin on a little chip pitch. Well, you can drop 1,500 RPM with strike easily, absolutely easily, and the same when it comes to on wet. But yeah, Abstract AV says if you stand further away, then you'll miss your toes. Yep. Adrian says, like irons, are some wedges more forgiving than others? Not really. I bought the CBX2 full face because in theory they are more forgiving than the RTX wedges. No difference whatsoever. So if you imagine looking at the forgiving wedges, we'll call that. Look at the design of the forgiving wedges. They're still the same as the irons. And so when you have an iron like this, yeah, you have all this help down here, all these, and no help up the top, effectively. Yeah, you've got all this help there, dragging center of gravity is low as far down and stuff like that. Well, that works really well because obviously you've got like tungsten sometimes in the tip here, and sometimes you've got weights down tungsten in the hosel as well. Different people have tungsten in different spots and all different technologies to try and make these things more forgiving and less twisty when you hit them off of off-center hits. Well, that's working great because you've got that loft, which is not a lot. Yeah. As soon as you start adding loft to a point of where you're doing this, well, that technology is now not necessarily working, because as soon as you're going past 45 degrees, the help is now helping more upwards than it is forwards. So you start very quickly losing any kind of assistance in MOI that a wedge will give for aggressive weighting or stuff like that. It's a great marketing thing though. And the biggest thing that you do get with game improvement wedges, we'll call game improvement wedges, is more so because of the bounce and grind aspects that they have over a standard wedge. Because most people don't use a wedge, a sand wedge, or they don't use their short game wedges correctly. They don't use the bounce of the golf club. They're using lead and edge. And so because they're so diggy as a general rule, going to something with a thicker sole, more bounce is actually better for them. But yeah. What we got? Golf, having a hard time zeroing in on a go-to golf ball. Been using Chrome Soft, Wilson Staff model, Strixon Q Star, Vice Pro Soft, Pro V1, still searching. One that stood out was Strixon Soft Feel. That's interesting. Try the Mizuno RB. No, choose whatever you want. So I was only joking. IO a steel or graphite shaft. It's steel. Callaway pre-owned sometimes lists it on their iron sets as graphite. No, that is steel. It's brushed. It's a brushed steel. It looks really quite nice. I quite like them. I like the C tapers. I like the C taper lights. I like the Project X IOs. Project X LS. Same finish. Go figure, a two-piece ball winning for me. Yeah, go. Where's cheaper? Think it that way. It's the cheapest on your wallet. There we go. Alice says magic. I can't remember what that was from. Prof said something. Dan says, Jen, thanks. Back to drawing board, expensive mistake, maybe. No, it's an honest question. Again, I would always, when you're doing something, if you can buy another golf club from eBay with it, then you can test it. The interesting thing is being able to make sure that you blind test it and not test it yourself when you know that you are using this one, use that. So you've got to have another 223 with an IO5 5.5, and you've got to be doing it on quad. Both of them have got to be dotted up, and you've got to flick them, and they've got to have the same grip on them. So you might have to do the same grip, but yeah. And so you could do a proper full-on test. You will not know which one it is. The 5.5, I mean, there literally is 5 grams in it, so the chances are you may not even feel any static weight difference. So you could then do a proper test, and then you will actually see physically if there's any statistical difference in delivered loft, because that's what we're talking about more than anything. We're talking about the fact that this shaft might kick a bit more and all this lot. And if anyone's got any time on their hands and they want to go through certain things and talk about shaft cycling, if people understand shaft cycling, it can actually have the reverse effect. So, but yeah, what have we got? So, Darren said at GolfNut, playing Vice Pro Soft this year. They're a great ball. They are a great ball. Vice are a great company with great performing products. I've got my own issue with their business model, I suppose you could say, from what they were to what they are. But I mean, yeah. Peter's saying it's light and loads nicely for low torque. Good ball is the Encore Elixir. Never used it. Never used it, I'll be honest. I haven't ever used it. But GolfNut is going to be happy because obviously he's going for a two-piece ball. Azure AV saying, Darren, you could try the 225 head in the 5 iron. 84 compression for the Encore Elixir. That's a softie. You could do, if you want launch, 245 will launch it more, because of the mass amounts of tungsten in there. Well, nearly on 50 grams coming. So, but yeah. Now, I want to show you one. Have I shown you the pictures? Yeah, I probably have shown you the pictures of the 245. I just want to show it again. The problem I've got there is that there is a 245 and a 245 and a 241 and 241. I'll see if I can move it over a little bit. Can I move it over a little bit? That one there. I'll see if I can move it over this way a bit more. That way you can properly see the 241s there. Don't they look as though they've got the same finish on them? I can distinctly say that that 241 does not look double chromed. I'm going to be so unhappy if that comes through and they're not shiny. I will be distraught with grief. I will be so unhappy that the fact that they're going to be brushed chrome. 49 Eris God, thanks. Thought on Dynamic Gold 105 stiff as a shaft. Good shaft. You're asking me shaft questions. Now I can tell you what the difference will be when it comes to like that and how it will affect someone, but not me. I look at a... they look all brushed, they do. Saw it on the shaft selector. Yes, Dynamic Gold 105. I mean, I can put it up on here if you want. So if we go, no, that's not that one. Oh, have I lost it? No, I haven't. It's there. There we go. So that's your Dynamic Gold 105 in orange. You can see there, that's the bend profile. So who was it? Darren, wasn't it? Do not, so in that case, we're talking about launch and stuff like that. Do not get the 105 stiff, because obviously the Dynamic Gold, generally speaking, all the Dynamic Golds have a stiff tip. Now, again, there are much stiffer ones now. If you go to a Dynamic Gold S300, obviously that orange line on the right hand side is a right hand side of the curve. At the top part of the curve as such is where the grip is, and the bottom part of the curve on the left hand side is where the golf club head is. And so you can see it gets weaker as it goes lower down the shaft, obviously because the metal gets tapered down and thinner, and so it will bend more. That's why you see it gets weaker. But you can see that how the tip reacts on different parts. You can see that the Dynamic Gold has got a distinctly stiffer tip to it. And so if you're suffering through ballooning flights, etc., and you're someone who is shaft sensitive, of which 99 point something odd % of the golfing population is shaft sensitive, then yes, you will see a distinct difference in changing shafts. That's why it is absolutely imperative that you get properly custom fit. There you go. Right. What I didn't read, I'll be honest. 49 Eris God, thank you on their shaft. I saw it on the shaft. I moved from a Nippon Modus 120S. Whoa, that's a big difference. And the difference in launch and clubhead speed with little dispersion penalty. There is a huge difference between a 120 Nippon Modus Pro, yeah, and a anything. The only thing you're going to get even close to a 120 on a Modus Pro would be an LZ, Project X LZ, possibly, but even that's nowhere near as aggressive as the 120. I'll give you an idea. Yeah, I'll give you an idea. There we go. So, here can we for a bit of fun? I'm trying to find something which is. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. You can probably see what I'm doing in the background. Cool, right. So what we'll do, I'll flick it over so you can actually see it again, because it's always a bit of fun. No one actually truly understands just how interesting that Modus Pro 120 stiff is. Right, so we're talking about the IO6s, which has got quite a weak tip anyway. And then you can go to a Dynamic Gold, which has a much stronger tip. Obviously it goes in orange there, and then you can go back down to a C-Taper Light, which is more of a linear. Anything which is C-Taper has a bit more of a linear bend profile to it. There's no aggressive weakness and strengths in certain parts. However, if you go down to an LZ, which I said, which is the closest you're going to get to a 120 stiff, if that's what you were looking for, you can see the bend profile there goes distinctly weaker in the 1/3 section from the tip up, and it is distinct. Now, if I now go to a modus, ready? Whoa! Look at that crazy old one. Now that is a really, really interesting shaft. I've had some really interesting results, we'll call it, from people running that shaft. Now that's absolutely great if you need that shaft. Absolutely is. If you don't need that shaft, yeah, you play that one, that can be quite interesting. Right. Beat McCleary says, my latest iron set as of the last 10 days is Srixon's X5. Good, yeah. Mark IIs with FLT 110s, amazing clubs, pay like 120 gram shaft, and thin shots are genius. Play about 4 yards longer than my P790, feeling amazing. Originals. Yeah, the only thing I had problems with these LX, the originals, was the fact that they were quite low spinning heads. They were quite low spinning heads, distinctly low spinning. And when that's and they were long. They were long. Absolutely, they were long. But excuse me. True, but right. So I'm still distraught about the potential that the 241 is going to come through in brushed chrome. Here's one for everybody. How easy is it to polish brushed chrome? So it's now not brushed chrome, but just chrome. Google that one. Because I don't think I could have a set of 241s if they weren't chrome. I think the spin number is relative to the carry number, not the number on the bottom of the head. You have a point. I think more precisely that spin should be relative to the dynamic loft number that's delivered. So okay, you've got to take into account strike point, and you've got to take into account angle attack, and also face to path relationships. But some irons just spin less than others. Now, I'm not saying that low spinning heads are a bad idea, because you have individuals that spin the golf ball way too much, and actually having that lower spinning head is a great functional thing for them, and it works an absolute treat, because it just brings them into the spin window, which for them is manageable. You get a lower spin player and give them one of those, and they are hitting absolute like exocet trajectory missiles. I super polished some old Ping. Oh, did you? Oh, okay, fair enough. They looked hard. Use a Dremel, not a problem. Dremel. Just use some Dremel. Perhaps we should try it. I do. Do you know what? I will on my media sample. I will possibly have a go. Why not? To see if you can. There's got to be a way to do it, and a non-aggressive way as well, because obviously that's not going to be very thick. So I'm going to have to do it in a way which is sensible. That'd be good. Right. So if everyone is happy, I'm going to throttle off. If not, just a message to every single person on here. Thank you very much for subscribing, as always. It is very much so appreciated. And if any of the non-members that have got the opportunity to be on today fancy joining, you can do, and you get access to this kind of content every single week on a Monday at 7:30 on, well, 7:30 UK time anyway, and other stuff as well. Now, there's certain things that I wanted to talk about today which I haven't, because of the open nature of the stream, and so I won't. But that's the kind of thing you'll get access to if you were to join on the first tier, which is the cheapest tier of the lot. Again, there's no, you don't have to if you don't want to. Absolutely fine, and thank you very much for subscribing. And the free live streams are always available for the first Monday of every month. But yeah, Neil's just said. Oh, hang on. You can with the polishing wheel. I just didn't like it as I don't like shiny things. Seriously, I do it all the time, mate. Well, that will be interesting. I haven't got a polishing wheel. I know someone who has though. I know someone who works in an engineering firm. They might be able to polish. Oh, anyway. Neil says, I have C-Taper Lite in my 923 Top Metal Pros and NS Pro. Yeah, wow. That is a real difference. No wonder I find the gap wedge so much different than the pitching wedge to swing. Yeah, it'd be huge. Like two completely different golf clubs. People, a lot of the times when people do that, they blame the heads. Wow. Now that shaft, that's a really interesting difference. I mean, again, I've got it on there, and I tell you what, just for you, Niels, I will just get that one back on here. We are talking about the difference. You've got C-Taper Lite. I'm assuming we're talking the stiff ones. It makes no difference. The difference between a C-Taper Lite stiff and a C-Taper Lite reg is exactly the same as what we did between the IO 5.5 and the IO that is literally like that. So ridiculously small, it's daft. Yeah, let's go. So the C-Taper Lite is that one in orange, and I'm now going to go the 120. Whoa, the orange to light blue, they are not even in the same ballpark. Like, wowzers. There you go. It's not your fault, Niels. Martin is at £3.99 a month, cheap at half the price. Join up and enjoy the Monday Night Club. Yes, it's the... Oh, it got turned off, didn't it? Hang on a second. There we go. If I get it back onto... I'll get this off, and then I've got the thing back up. What do you think? Yeah. And of course, anyway, I mean, there's other stuff on there as well. I mean, not just the, obviously that's the lowest tier, £3.99, which I think is relatively fair, I think. Looks good, but I'll get the old chat up on here quickly. There you go. Looks good, but can you get it at the top of the screen? What, so that there, up the top there? Yes, I reckon I could. If I wasn't already a member, I would join for the wallpaper. Yeah, spread the love, spread the love. Yeah, I like that one. I think it looks all right, doesn't it? I worked on that one a little bit. I probably wasted more time on that than I should have done. Well, yeah, I suppose that's a good point. Yeah, good point, well made. I do. But I suppose if I was over here, my head would obscure it as well. I mean, I'm not really actually making that much difference, but yeah, you're right. You know, it's fine. Or I should literally just do it down the side here, shouldn't I? Was it the Monday Clubhouse? Join it, yeah, kind of idea like that. I don't know. Nice clubhouse. I did think that. What do you think? Yeah. Right, so for anyone out there, just so you work too much on the letters, they are broken now. Yeah, I know, look at that. It's, do you know what, I looked at that and I thought to myself, when I was making that, I saw the font and I looked at it and I thought, that font reminds me of, you remember Falling Skies? That had, is it Noah Weil in it? The guy from ER, all those many years ago. That had that kind of font. Yeah. So I just want to say whilst everyone is listening, any of the guys that are not just on the normal tiers, but on the tiers of which allow them to have special time, we'll call it, with me. And so this is obviously on the higher up tiers, but anyone who has gone up, I can't remember if it is now, is it gold, platinum or ultimate or something like that, that have special time with me. So if anyone who has joined up and hasn't had their month's worth of, that haven't had a chat with me, Instagram me or something like that, and we can organise that one happening. So the problem is I am so busy with so many things and different times. Sometimes it's difficult for me. They soon ditched it. I know they did, didn't they? I quite liked the falling skies. That was I quite liked anyway. Yeah, and so anyone who hasn't had their time with me this month, shout. Because I've got so many things going on, I've got so many different people, I have other online sessions that I do with other people on different platforms and stuff like that as well. No, not really. That's one thing you really don't want to see. Although saying that, I haven't, the wife, I don't think the wife has actually seen this top yet. I personally quite like it. However, are we? Okay. Right, so in that case, Insta me, yeah, and then we'll book it in for this week, yeah, we'll get it sorted out, because I've got so much stuff and so many different people. I can quite easily, that's why these are great, because it gives me the opportunity to touch base with people. And if there's at any point I miss anybody, and it's not fair, because obviously anyone who's paid to have time with me going through whatever they want to go through, deserves it. And so I want to make sure that everyone gets exactly what they're entitled to have. So cool. Instagram me later on, and then we will work some time. That'll work. Because I think, isn't it very, very soon, we've got the first month going again in month 2. I know, bud, but if you don't push me on it, I'll forget, because I've got so many things going on. If I let you know that's why I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I am so busy. I could quite easily, when I'm finished now, rather than going to see the wife, I could stay at work just editing, because I've still got I've done the introduction, I've done the hitting part of the videos for the Dyna Power, the CB and the MB. I've got to do the numbers videos. I've still got to do the hitting side on some of it as well. Again, that can take an absolute age to do, but being as helpful to Wilson as I can, I did say to him that I will prioritise doing their stuff. Ryder Cup coming up. Predictions, anyone? Go on. When is it? I should know, really. I'm terrible. I've got so much stuff going on. I mean, there's so many things that go on in the golf world sometimes. And people say, did you watch the golf? No, I'm just so, yeah. And the problem is I can't have it. If I have it on, I mean, I can work and I can have the golf, 4K golf going on here if I wanted to. The problem is I would not get any work done, because I've got golf sitting there and I'd end up just sort of, yeah. It wouldn't work. So I need to know, when's the dates? Because it would be good to do a Ryder Cup last weekend this month. Okay, fine. Well, in that case then, the Monday after that will be the open all access, the proper open all access, I'm assuming, wouldn't it? So then in that sense, it's going to be difficult in that, I suppose, because no, it's September still, isn't it? Dipstick. Yeah, and I got full week access going to Rome in a week and a half. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Just wave at a camera. No, that'd be good. Glad you've got some time. Good. Happy for you. I did mean that. I didn't mean like, happy for you. Right. September 28th, 29th, 30th. Just so I've got that, 28th, 30th, yes. And so the first one of the month will be on the 2nd of October, yes. So I can have a Ryder Cup roundup, and I will wave that secret wave you just did. And we can have a nice roundup, and then Niels can tell us every single story that he's got about what he watched, and yeah. Good luck on you, mate. Honestly, enjoy it. Nice one. So, okay, in that case, if everyone's all done with their questions and stuff like that, all the, I think everyone's disappeared now, have they? No, we've still got a couple of non-members on. But, yeah, so when it comes to the guys, if you want to be a member, you know what to do. Join in on this. And then, yeah, we will catch everyone next week. I've still got to do, so by that point I would have all the Wilson stuff up by next week possibly, because I'm thinking Dynapower tomorrow, CB maybe Thursday, and Sunday will be the Blade. There's going to be about 4 people who watch that video, so that might be a waste of time. I've still got to do the STGs, I still need to do that, but I think embargo is something like 25th. I want to say embargo's 25th. Hang on. ST embargo is now 25th. Yes, it is, yeah. So I've still got a little time to do that, which is good. So, right guys, thank you very much. I will have some time to work out why my GH5. Also, by the way, have you noticed, anyone who's watched my last video, the sub 70 one, that was the first video that I'd actually filmed on GH5 in 50 frames a second. Now on YouTube it will stick you down to the say 720 or 1080 at normal, however many frames a second they do it, 24 frames a second or whatever they run it. But you can select 50 frames a second on the, if anyone has noticed, has there been any difference in the quality of the visuals? Has there been any difference in the quality of the smoothness of the video that you've noticed? Something just made a noise. I don't know exactly what that was. That's the old stream bot-y thing, what they want to call it. Oh, I got something that we say. Nice one. Cheers. Be safe and take care, Jay. T200 223 versus. Okay, I'd rather go T200, Pang, I'd rather go T200 versus MP245, that'd be more of a fair test, I'll do that one. Neil says, nice, have a nice evening, later guys, long as you're about for the Monday night, yes. Good night, GolfNut, see you again, have a great week, all, cheers, all, be safe, keep up the awesome work, Jay. Appreciate everybody for giving their 2 pence worth in all the things that they do. Always happy to have all the comments that I get, and I will try to, well, as best I can do, to reply to every single one. Keep messaging me or commenting to see if you've noticed any difference in the quality of the video via obviously visuals, see if it's any clearer going from a G7 to a GH5. I'm going to use my G7 now as my not my backup camera, but my numbers side camera. So when I'm talking in this one, I'm not moving at all, and so I can do frame blending, or what they call smoothing, for the 50 frames. I won't bore you, but the GH5 will be my new A camera possibly going forward, which will be give me 50 frames a second, and job done. But yeah, let us know if you found any difference whatsoever, because I would really like to know. Right guys, next week members only, and I will get going earlier, and so I will make sure I get all of the things working before coming on line. Yeah, because it was a bit embarrassing the first one, especially because it's gone out to the public rather than just the members, like just the members, you know what I mean? There you go. So I will move the Monday night clubhouse thing to up there. Pretty certain I've still got the PSD file rather than, hopefully it's not JPEGs, we'll see. Thanks, I'll probably be in transit, don't remember the flight times exactly. Well, yes, in spirit. Or not, yeah, you can't do that. Well, I suppose you can when you're flying, you're not in control of the plane, are you? Right, GolfNut is waving, everyone's goodbye. Right guys, thanks very much for joining, and I will see everybody next week for another fun packed, yeah, all the behind the scenes next week. It'll be behind the scenes next week. Take care guys. Cheerio.